Hey everyone, this is Andrew, and in this video I'm going to talk to you about how I'm getting into Eurorack. Alright, so first of all, if you have no idea what Eurorack is, this is kind of mind-blowing, at least the first time that I heard about it. But it's essentially just modular synthesis, meaning that with a synthesizer you typically have everything in an enclosed unit that you can't modify. Everything's already been connected inside on the circuit board inside the synthesizer. With Eurorack, which is just a form of modular synthesis, Eurorack just describes the spacing, like the height and the horizontal pitch, and then all the different kinds of voltages and parameters that allow all these individual units to work together. But what Eurorack allows you to do is you're breaking up all the individual components of the synthesizer into separate chunks that you can then use individually. And so, that means that this unit here, which is the Moog Mother-32, it's essentially a synthesizer by itself, but it allows you to patch it through all these patch points here with these patch cables. But if I wanted to, I can get the filter from the Moog and I can use it to control the oscillator from the Erica synth. So I can use the oscillator from an Erica synth and I can route that to this filter by any module that I bought, or what I can do is I can get the bass oscillator output of the Moog and I can output through that filter. Then I can use this Intellijel VCA, I can use this match envelope generator and all these other functions it has, meaning that I can get whatever individual component I want for each function of the synthesizer to create any sound that I want. So with synths, a lot of the times when you buy them, they have this big list of features, and typically you're locked completely into whatever features were present when you actually bought the synth. With Eurorack, you can buy whatever you want, and you can connect it however you want. So to give you a little demonstration of that, I have everything hooked up in a certain way now to demonstrate a little bit the basics of how this works, but I'm going to use the Moog Mother-32. So I have this output here that goes from the output VCA, which is essentially the point in the synth. It's after the envelope generator that controls the attack and decay of the instrument, after the volume output, and that's going into this VCA, which is also doubling as a mixer, into input 1. And so what I can do is I can turn everything else down, I can boost this to make sure everything else is turned off. So now you're just hearing the input directly from the Moog. And I can start messing with the parameters on here. Alright, so that shows basically how the Moog Mother-32 works in a basic overview sense. So now what I can do is I can turn down this level 1. And now what I have happening is that I have this MIDI input over here coming from my keyboard that I was using to control the Moog Mother-32. I'm going to output the 1 volt per octave signal. So that's just the standard in which the voltage travels along this cable to control other oscillators. And I'm going to input that into this other oscillator by Erica Synths, the Erica Synths Pico VCO. And so if I turn up this, you can now hear that we have a steady input coming from that. But you're noticing that it's just a constant pitch, and this is because oscillators just oscillate continuously. They don't actually have, they don't have a filter, they don't have an envelope generator, they don't have any way to control anything else other than the basic oscillator. It does have a bunch of other sounds though. And so the sound you're hearing, it is being routed through this filter here. So I'm getting the output here routing through the input of this filter. The output of this filter goes into the VCA. And so I can, at this point, Now if I turn this guy all the way down, and I let the control voltage of the envelope generator of the Mother-32, and now these settings put a big attack, big decay. And now that's controlling that. What I could also do is I can mix these two sounds together. Right now I have it set that the volumes are much different, and the actual frequencies that each one of these are oscillating is vastly different. That's because of the tuner here. It's a little hard to calibrate at any position other than the very bottom position, but that's just specific to this piece of a Eurorack module. So that's a basic summary of how all this works. The cool thing about it is that there's thousands of modules available online. Each of them have different functions, and they all do various cool things. Like this one over here, for example, makes drum sounds, and it can actually randomly generate percussive sounds. It's completely synthesized, there's no sampling involved. It's creating the sounds from scratch. It has a bunch of presets, you can create your own and save them, or you can randomize it where every time you put an input into it, it gives you a random output, essentially creating a brand new instrument, or percussive instrument every time you hit it. This thing over here can create all these kind of crazy effects, but the official, I guess, use of it is an envelope generator and a few other functions. I'm still trying to wrap my head around how to use this thing. This disting here, Expert Sleeper's disting Mark IV, I believe, has like 40 plus functions it can do. It has delay, reverb, LFO. I think it has an oscillator, an envelope generators. You can put samples in it, all these different stuff. So, you know, if you like buying a bunch of cheap components and playing with them, or even buying a bunch of expensive components all the time and experimenting with to get new sounds, this is a way to have a never-ending and unlimited potential instrument. And it is an instrument. This thing is a custom instrument that I am tailoring to meet my needs, and I can continue to forever tailor it to meet my needs. Alright, so I hope you found this video interesting. In the future I'm going to be doing some individual reviews about some of the Eurorack modules that I have in here currently and whatever I get in the future. And I'll be putting out various songs along the way, trying to show you what it's all about. Alright, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe for more. I upload videos every single Friday, and I'll see you later. Bye.